Yo, what's up, guys? We are live today, all by myself. And oh man, oh man, not again. Yo, I learned game from Ars Italia. You can never check me until the Canadian court put me in patekis. And I don't know how to continue the lyrics, but let's pause the video here for a minute. Today, I'm all by myself. Scotty might tune in later. I don't know. But shout out to Scotty. Yeah, shout out to you as well, man. Yeah, but all jokes aside, guys, today, just let me know if you can hear me because I didn't check my speakers now. But today is about Justin Marc, aka Justin Aguilar, aka I don't know what he's calling himself right now, but he's charged with a sexual assault. And yeah, the occasion or the incident took place last year, summer, I think, in August. The hearing will be in January. And I'm honestly not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. I don't know how you guys see this whole situation. Nobody talked really about it. We just, yeah, perfect, man. Sound, picture are good. Okay. Then you heard me rapping as well. Awesome. Just heard a little bit Drake back to back before, And yeah, to come back to the topic, like, as I said, like pretty, like hard charges, criminal charges pressed against him. And we'll have the hearing in January, or he will have the hearing in January. We're going to see, it's innocent until proven guilty, of course, but I'm not surprised at all because there were signs already in the past. If you check the prehistory of this guy, then you would know that he got banned from two developing countries, not one country, but two countries, Brazil and Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, I don't say the word third world country here because it's not really accurate anymore to say that term. Plus, I don't want to, yeah, like play down my Brazilian and Mexican listeners if I have any, but developing countries. But those guys who live there might agree with me that in those countries, those, yeah, certain countries mentioned, you can get along with way more, than let's say in the West. And if you get banned like for cold approaching in developing countries, then I don't know any word better than like retarded right now or missing any fundamental mental and capital letter skills. But there's something really wrong with you, I mean, we're not talking about like an incident where you get just kicked out of the club, or just got banned from a venue, although even that deserves a medal. But we talk about like getting banned of the whole country, and not one country, but two countries. And this is something only RSD, his big role model, I mentioned RSD Tyler before, achieved back in the mid 2010s. But yeah, and as you can see, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And as I said, it's yeah, the accusations. He just said was some ass grabbing, and it's a political attack against his persona, which, come on, man. I mean, you're too small of a fish to fry, to just take accountability, and just I don't know. And when it comes to these cases, it's always hilarious, to just come up and say it's a political attack against my persona just because I'm Indian, just because I'm this, just because I'm that. There must have had something had happened before. I mean, it's he claims it was just some ass grabbing, but if you just check that his like took his like Instagram down, I think, and YouTube, or at least YouTube videos, there must have been something more. And the sexual assault can be anything, it can be as well, yeah, some ass grabbing, unwanted kiss, whatever, but it can be as well forced penetration, or forced like oral sex, whatever, and this ain't what you meant, what you told you to open up more, and yeah, as I said, like many guys, what many guys don't get, and many guys now maybe didn't cover this because they're still too busy to focus on a guy who lost his channel 1 month ago, but I think this is more important of a topic to cover because this is not like one single incident which happened, and I don't want to just make it just about that guy today, but in general, but the pickup community, where the pickup community is heading, and all these things like we had in the past. There were many coaches charged, and yeah, he got arrested last week. But just let me just read the comments as well here, guys. We're in this page. Just want to say these women. There's no way. I mean, as I said, like innocent until proven guilty. But let's see. I know some case. I will come to that later. But I know guys, and I said I've been years in this community since 2018. I've hung out with the one or another famous dating coach in the space, plus as well guys, like normal guys. We just did game, the normal audience. And I can tell you, I don't know only one case, but more cases where things like this happened, charges like this, similar charges, and they were not falsely accused, And as I said, like I hung out with those guys, and I could clearly see from day one there was something wrong with them. I, of course, when I just started, like in 2018, as I said, made myself a name. Hung out with the first guys, I saw that this community, and I wrote it before, and I say it again here as well. It's the most, the community is somehow the most, how do you say, brings together the most gullible guys, but as well, like weird guys I've ever seen in any community. Like, I don't know if there's another community. And of the gaming community, as I said, I don't game, I don't play computer games. I stopped when I was 18, so I don't know about that. But also chess community, I don't know any community who brings together so many people with like mentally troubled, mentally unwell people who think that they need like to fix their dating life and everything will be fine. They focus on women and they think everything will be fine afterwards. Although I can tell you that this should be not your main focus, and the vast majority of these guys are unfortunately those type. You have like then guys who are just shy, who just get out of the long-term relationship, who are maybe married, or who just want to like get to know more girls, but they can read social cues, they can read social dynamics, they have social intelligence, to sum it up. And that's, as I mentioned in every video, in every life, it's the most important thing to have, to have social intelligence. And many guys are missing the social intelligence. I'm not talking only about guys, but as well coaches, and you can see it pretty clearly. Why you guys don't see it, or many guys are not seeing it, because they don't have it either, and it's like, if you like, it's a vicious circle of, as I said, mentally unwell guys teaching others. It's hard to break out. It's hard to distinguish between, okay, who's legit, who's not legit, whose dating advice is good and who's not good, or you shouldn't follow, and until things like this happen. And for me, it's like sometimes, as I say, I don't even have to look at infeeds. It's enough for me just sometimes to write with guys, and I know there's something going on, and I generally ask sometimes guys, hey guy, have you been ever diagnosed being on the autism spectrum? And one guy just replied last time, oh no man, but I think there is something, and blah blah blah. And he continues, and I can right away tell that these guys have something. These guys are on the spectrum. Maybe they're not a 10 out of 10 case, but a 5 out of 10 or 6 out of 10. So they need help. And there's also many coaches who can maybe hide it better. Because as I said, for dating coach nowadays, it doesn't take much. You can just have a nice equipment, nice camera, microphone, then a good script you memorize, a canned script. You go through, if you do some mistakes, you make some finely edited cuts, polished edits, then some good marketing behind it, and that's it, and suddenly you're authority in the space, and you're suddenly like, he's like the second best dating coach in day game, whatever. This just Justin was like, I think this year. And you see like these votes, like those people voting, they don't have a really like good judgment. And there was a good quote, I think, from the movie Scarface, where Sosa said to Tony Montana when they hung this guy, I don't know what his name was, like Omar, I think, who was an informant. He said, like, I know how bad your boss judgment can be, if it doesn't recognize that he has a rat basically in his company, and this is the same here. You know what I mean? And yeah, thank you. Most of the guys I know the community are awesome dudes. Yeah, as I said, like, I'm here for you guys, as I said, like, I live for this community, I'm here to help you guys. I've helped dozens of autistic students as well. I had autistic students where most of the coaches, all these famous, well-known coaches, gave up and couldn't help them. I helped them, but it's important to as well. As I said, we are not doctors. It's important as well to get a diagnosis for that, And the thing is, as I said, many guys don't know that they have some problems. They don't see themselves, and it's not a thing like with that getting women will fix everything, all your issues you have, because you have bigger issues than that. And this happens, and many guys ask me as well, or ask me this question in the past now. Oh, should I be worried as well now that women will press charges against me, whatever, and this and that? Because there were some coaches who had it, either wrongfully or where the girl was right, pressed charges against them, and they got as well convicted. We know the one or another case, but as well, I know guys as well within the community I used to hang out with when I started, as I said, in 2018. And as well, I saw those signs right immediately. And these guys, it started first with like banned out of the clubs, banned out of like certain areas even. And then girls came in the picture, and there was sexual assault. There was all these kind of things, and these guys were weird. And this pickup community is, as I said, it's a very good thing. I'm glad that it exists, and I can help guys out there, generally can help guys out there. But this attracts as well many weirdos, and I see it every time in the comments when I'm just right with a guy, discuss around. It attracts so many weirdos, I've never seen any community like this where, you have very like genuine, like good-hearted guys, but there is something wrong with them, but they want to help themselves. But as well, many weirdos, sociopaths, and as I said, like autistic guys who cannot like distinguish, and they think like this is somebody to follow, and then they follow the guy and do the hundreds approach exactly like how they saw it. And again, instead of like debriefing, instead of like maybe start to questioning that system, they do it 101, 102, 103 more times, and they never debrief, because, as I said, they think this is the way to do it. Is RST coming back? I suppose I found it somewhere. I don't know if it's true or not. I think so. RST Pop is calling himself RST Nikki now. So and promised some new coaches, but so we're gonna see some push-ups. Don't be afraid, guys. If you're gonna see some push-ups in the streets, guys shouting around the streets and doing the spinning hand shakes or hand moves, then it's RSD. Scotty has a call with a student. I actually plan to do it by myself now this time. I hope you enjoy it. Regardless, if you act sneaky, then she'll accuse you of those things. But if you're real right from the start and genuine with your intent, then you will never be accused of anything. Yeah, that's true as well, because as I said, I don't know how Justin did it. As I said, I never met this guy. I don't want to talk bad either about him, although like there is a certain like prehistory. If you get banned like from 2 countries, developing countries, and all these coaches are somehow moving away to Southeast Asia, South America, and from there they preach how easy it is to get girls, and how many times they're getting laid, and so effortless, and they just escape because the Western girls are so much of like feminists, and they are fat and whatever. But at the end of the day, I think they just escape because their game wouldn't work in the West. They're too weird for the West, and as I said, those girls in those developing countries, how do you say, they have a higher compliance because they are forced to somehow to comply. You know what I mean? So whereas the girl like in Canada, she will say, hey, sorry, don't touch me. And you have to distinguish as well between, and here comes as well reading social science, like and social dynamics in general. Like, is this oh no, I don't want you to touch me because I'm so wet. Oh my God, haha, hee hee, whatever. Or is this hey, no, fuck yourself. They cannot distinguish between those two. And it's very important. Plus, if you bring up like RSD things like, hey girls, let's do a home party, and the girl is coming home with you with, as I said, this excuse of throwing a home party, and once at home she will find herself like in a dungeon with tap water. Then of course it's you framed it wrongly. The whole situation is, she thinks like, what the fuck, and then suddenly like guys come out of their holes like like the lion babies, waiting for the lioness to feed them, with some girls. And the girls will be creeped out, and this is what we have many times with certain guys. I remember the time period in my life where I was too afraid to order pizza over the phone, let alone call approach a woman. Yeah, same here. I was too afraid to just ask to open up another when the queue was too long. To open up another, ask a cashier to open up another one. I was the same, or calling doctors, for example, to make up appointments. Like, this is how I started. So I feel you guys. I know where you're coming from, because I was the same. But I was never what I never was. I was never the guy who didn't have any emotional or social intelligence. I always had those. I think more than every other coach I've met, at least until now, in person. And I've met many coaches. So it's not like I just bring it up out of like malicious joy, because I want to make fun of somebody who's getting accused or charged with these kind of things. But I met up with coaches and gamed with them, and I know that many coaches are weird. They are, and as I said, I was surprised myself, because you would be probably too if you watch certain people on YouTube. Like, it pops up daily on your YouTube feed, and suddenly you meet that person in real life, and you think like, what the fuck is this, like a clone? Like I remember like when Gucci Mane came out of jail, and everybody was questioning, like, because he lost kilos and suddenly looked differently, but in a better way, in a good way. And we're like, oh, is this a clone? This is not the real Gucci Mane, whatever. And this is how I was, with some dating coaches. I'm like, what the fuck, man? This is not the guy I imagined, and then I saw him, like, how he games, or he like games. I mean, many times I not only had to like game like my target, but also had to like cover for him, because the girls were coming up to me and saying, hey, your friend is like a weirdo. Why is your friend so fucking retarded? Whatever. And I had to like cover it. Oh my God, no, sorry, he just drank a little bit too much, although he wasn't drinking at all. It barely could afford like something to drink at the bar. Most of them just went to the bathroom to get some, like, I don't know, toilet water, and that was it. But I had to cover, and I was like, man, like, it's insane. And then back in the days, they I remember particular stories where they told me, where we pulled, and he told me, one particular coach, no problem, man, just tomorrow write in the report that I pulled as well, and this was like a hot girl, whatever, although his girl was not hot. And I was like, man, like, where did it all come? Like, lying to guys out there, lying to poor guys who think you have skills, or they trust people like us. I would never do this, and it's very sad. Like, but as I said, like, it got way worse over the years, since COVID, actually. Like, everyone is a coach nowadays, yeah. We've seen video footage, more movement have come forward, and more charges are coming. Stay tuned. Okay, didn't know about that. Yeah, sometimes, it takes one, and all the domino pieces start to like, yeah, fall. If I was a girl, I would reject most men too. Yeah, and me too, trust me. Like, especially these pickup guys. Like, it's insane, because if you enter any community, let's say you enter the fitness community, there will be guys, especially when they're like certain, like, as I say, I know guys that are 7 years in game and still beginners. They still ask me on every damn time, they ask me the same questions, like 7 years ago, like really beginner questions. Then I know, like, there is something wrong with you. I don't know what you're doing, what you did in those 7 years, but there is something really wrong with you. And if you would enter, for example, the fitness community, to come back to it, you would assume that those guys know their shit somehow, and especially when they're 7 years into fitness, they look a certain type of way, so they won't be like, I don't know, like some Q-tips, but they will have a certain like physique, especially when they're that long in the fitness community and spending that much time in the gym. But if you enter like the pickup community, it's weird, because you will have guys who are actually worse than guys who never heard about game at all. Like, it's insane. As I said, like, this community is very weird. It's something, as I said, very, very great as well, but on the other hand as well, very weird, and surreal almost, because you will have, as I said, guys who don't have a fucking clue what they're doing, and they're like years in the community, and they don't have that much of like certain, as I said, like, fundamental knowledge, like basics, than a guy like, let's say, who never heard about game, who's not really even like a ladies man, but just a normal guy, a normal random guy out in the street. He will do maybe better, or you would like tell this guy, give this guy like a strategy, and in 1 week he would do better than 80% of the guys in the community. You know what I mean? And as I said, like, I've met many coaches, many guys, and many have been good, genuine, good-hearted guys. They were weird, they were a little bit retarded, but they had a good heart. But there were as well other guys who you couldn't help, And I remember as well, wingman of mine, a former wingman of mine. This guy approached 62 girls in 1 hour. I think I made a video about that, and he was like running around from Monday till Sunday. I remember he used to hit me up right in the morning. Hey, Pat, what are you doing? I'm day gaming. It was 11 in the morning. From 11 till like, I don't even know where he found these clubs on a Sunday or a Monday, which were open. But he always found them. He was day gaming, night gaming all the way long, like for 3 years consistently. Never got any results, or barely got any results. And he ended up with a burnout, because there was something missing. Like, as I said, fundamental knowledge, like human behaviors were missing, And as I said, there were many guys, or this was the guy as well. I remember a funny story where we saw like a couple, clearly a couple, holding hands, kissing each other, and we were just joking around. I was like, "Hey man, what if you approach that girl?" He was like, "Oh man, I will do it." I said, "Are you kidding, man? Like this guy is together." Like, I made a joke, these two are together. He was like, "Man, Pat, stop with the fucking excuses, man. Like, this can be like brother or sister. Maybe it's the cousin." I'm like, "What the fuck, are you retarded? Like, these are kissing. I don't know in which world you live in, but these are clearly a couple. This is clearly a couple, And first I thought he's joking, but he really went there. He really went there and approached the girl while she was kissing with the boyfriend, holding hands. And as I said, till this day, I was still wondering how this guy never got punched in the face. I know what happened afterwards. I mean, I know him like for 2 years. So maybe he got punched since then. But yeah, those stories. And this was not only one guy, but more guys, with clearly like weird signs. Yeah. Yo, what's up, man? Steven's giving him feedback. Yeah, I think some guys need his feedback. Maybe he wakes up finally, because as I said, like, how bad of how retarded you have to be to get dropped out of, like, getting banned out of like whole countries. And then one girl had enough. One girl in a Western country had enough. She was like, "No, I'm not doing this. I don't have to," and that's it. And I don't believe in like all this kind of bullshit, like political attack and stuff like that. I mean, he's too small of a fish to fry, as I said, to make it about like something political suddenly, And it's lack of accountability. These guys are the ones who run around oh, you have to be an alpha, you have to take accountability, whatever. And as soon as some shit happens, best example was like 5 years ago. I don't want to get into it, but we all know what happened 5 years ago with COVID. What did these guys do? So yeah, it is what it is. And they put on like so many like fake layers, like layer by layer by layer. At the end of the day, they look like Katie Price, with all the makeup, but you see like the rotten tooth. It's like going to the dentist, they try to cover it up and whitening the teeth, whatever, but you see like the root is rotting, and it's insane, So you figure out that this is not the solution. You have to treat the root, not trying to cover it up and pretend you're someone you're not, And it is what it is. Was in Warsaw this summer, and the man, because I don't know if you could see the DARS. Yeah, there was an article as well about it. I think on Reddit, I made a video about it, or at least a post. And it was as well something which doesn't surprise me at all. If we had the same issue here, You know, in every city I'm going to, you see some, especially when it's like a packed, crowded area. Back in the RSD days, it was even worse. You know, 2018, 2019, it was even worse than now. But yeah, girls had enough, you know, because it's every time the same weird shit. And guys are not debriefing, they're not reflecting upon their approaches. You know, they don't go home and take a paper or just sit down, you know, and just stare at the wall and think, hey, how can I improve? What did I do wrong? Instead of they run the numbers game, they run the even blind hand finds a grain of corn game, and they do the next approach the next time, and they will think, oh, you know what? Instead of like 70 girls, maybe it takes like 80 girls, you know, to get laid, and it's not the way to do it. It's a skill game, you know. It's not it's a skill game rather than a numbers game. Yeah, but that was basically what I wanted to cover in this video or in this live. If you have any questions, just let me know. But yeah, as I said, like also like guys voting for him or voted for him or voting for such coaches and other coaches vouching for such coaches, you know, they have a bad judgment. I don't know what these guys see, but I can clearly see, as I said, without having met certain guys personally, just watching them on a video where they anyway can cover pretty much, you know, put on many layers, and you don't see like their true nature. But yeah, and those guys even met those coaches, then I don't know. Then I'm questioning myself, like how bad your judgment is. You know, that you don't see what any normal person out there would see. It's not just me, you know, but any normal person out there would recognize or would see. So I don't know, but yeah, guys, I didn't plan to staying that much. Yeah, good half hour. We're almost there. Let me know which other topics you want me to cover in the future. Also with Scotty, maybe we'll go in a live tomorrow, talk about Black Pill. If you find this interesting, just let me know. What's with the Jonathan live stream? I didn't hit him up since then. I had much to do, and I don't know, man. Like as I said, I don't know if I will do it or not. We didn't have time. We agreed on a date and a time, but then it wasn't working for him. It wasn't working for me, so it's still up there, you know. So I don't know. I don't know if I will do it at all, you know. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, that's about it, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Just let me know, as I said in the comments. Make sure to drop a like and let me know in the comments what topics you want me or us with Scotty to cover next. And peace out.